What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Welcome to Friday's episode. So this should be season 2, episode 8. I'm still in it. Still till we get to those double digits, and I'm like, it's your latest episode. Check it out. Definitely continue to hit us up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We've moved over to Heroes Media Group, so we're super excited to broaden our horizons. So don't fear not if you're already a current subscriber. Everything should be redirected over there, so there'd be no change for you. So if you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Google, Amazon, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Radio FM, and then every now and then I find on some random podcasts. I'm like, I didn't even know we're over there. They'd be like TunePod DBS 247. You'd be like, what is that? It's got like one subscriber on there. Like, okay, I'll take it. But definitely continue to hit us up with all that good stuff. But without further ado, I give it to Shannon. How was your week?
Man, it was a pretty slow week for me, man. We're getting a lot of rain over here in Colorado. Like it was crazy. It was like severe thunderstorms, like stuff going on. But so it kept me in this week. I was thinking about going out to try to catch Guardians this past week, but didn't make it out there and all the rain and everything. So maybe this week we'll see. I hear it's good, you know what I mean? So I want to get in and I want to get in there, right? But didn't get the chance to finish up, or I didn't finish up. I watched the latest episode of Citadel. I don't know if you started watching that series yet on Prime.
So I'm 2.5 in. I didn't finish the third one.
Yeah, well, there's
4 now.
4 now. Yeah, it's every Friday it releases. So it's good, man. It's good. So that actually prompted me. So the female lead in that one that plays Nadia, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, I think is her name.
I wouldn't have even attempted it. Good job.
Yeah. But Chopra Jonas, I think is what it is. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Miss Jonas.
You think she's listening?
As I know you watch the show. Yeah. But it got me to start watching. She's doing a TV show, or she did a TV show. I don't know if it's on still or not, but called Quantico.
Yeah. Yep.
Like 2 episodes into that, and I'm like, man, it's pretty good. I like it so far. You know what I mean? But
so you gotta let me know if it finale though. Like, so I never jumped in it because it was too far running, right? Like, I don't like jumping into the middle of something that's been for like 5 seasons in case it gets canceled. Yeah. So you gotta let me know. If it makes it all the way through where it has a finale, I'll jump on.
I just started. So like I just started this weekend after watching the 4th episode of not Quantico, of Citadel. So watched that. Started watching some more stuff with the wife. She had a little bit more time this week, so we continued the shows we were watching. New Amsterdam, continued watching that one again. I started watching some old stuff again, man. I watched True Lies again. You remember True Lies?
Yeah. They turned into a TV show.
Did they?
Either they are or they will. You talking about True Lies is the one with Arnold, right?
Yeah.
No, so I think it is a TV show. I saw a trailer for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it turned into a TV show. Yep. Like years later.
Is he in it, or
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Like, it shows it's like I think is it reversed? No, that's a movie. So there is a TV show. I think it follows around the same story beats. Like, he's a spy, his wife finds out. But there's also a what is his name? Captain America. What's his real name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans has a movie called Ghosted, which also piggybacks off True Lies, but his roles reversed, where his date, she's a spy, and then he finds her, but in the middle of a mission because she ghosted him. So
that's Apple TV though, right?
It's Apple TV. Apple TV. Yeah. I don't know if it's any good, but it's on there.
I got to be honest with you. I think I pay for it because I have Verizon. I think I get Apple TV. Not sure or not.
Some way or somehow you have it.
I still haven't. I still haven't done anything with it, man. I don't know. I see all the big names and I'm just like, nah.
I'm telling you, man. Like you. I don't know if it's not a lot of action in it, so I don't think you would like it. But that Mahershala Ali one, man, that was good.
Where it's 2 of them or something like that, or
something like that. I won't give it away, but yes, he's in it twice.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Did I give it? Well, that was a while ago. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Like, it has that one. Has that one has it is it can I spoil it? Not give away the ending, but like the
I
if you
thought I
watch the
saw the
trailer, you get it.
trailer. Yeah, I saw the
Yeah, if you
trailer.
watch the trailer, you get it. So he is a person, and he's terminal in some aspect. So I don't want to give that away, but he's dying. So he makes a clone of himself, and then the two of them have to interact in order for it to be him, right? It has to have that interaction, and that's where it kind of goes off from there. And it's not a lot of action in this, whatever. It's like psychological, like this is crazy, like this, the future, and what that holds. Aquafina's in it, so like that's the only comedy you really get in it. But Mahershala Ali be acting his butt off. Just saying,
Yeah.
he played two of himself at the same time. Like obviously they recorded it differently, but it's so
Right.
good. Like the way they put it together, I'm like, oh man, he's really interactive. They cloned Mahershala Ali,
Or it's like the Prestige, right?
right?
Tesla has made a machine that clones people,
Right, right.
But no, I just don't have Apple TV, man. I like I said, I get suspicious when you start throwing all these big names, and it's probably just their pet projects and whatnot. Like I've seen some trailers of stuff where people have like their own pet projects they're doing, and I'm just like, this seems dumb. Like what's her name? Captain Marvel, Brie Larson.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
She's got one called like the Unicorn Store or something like that I saw.
I thought that was Netflix. Is that Apple?
No, it is Netflix. It is Netflix.
Okay.
I'm saying it's Apple TV, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah,
these actors to do their pet project.
right.
I
Because
think
that one
that's
has Samuel Jackson in it too. I
yeah,
didn't watch it. That's on my list.
That's what kind of like made me think it was going to be something. But then I watched the trailer and I was like, nah, it's not for me.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's what Apple TV is doing. Is these people come to them that are A-list actors and they're like, we got a pet project. They're like, we don't need to hear it. How much money do you need? That's all they say. I think that's all they're saying over there.
I mean, there's a musical with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, that thing was, man, come on, Spirited or something or something like that.
But I heard it was good. I just didn't. I have to watch that around Christmas time because it's a Christmas Carol, so I can't just watch it randomly.
They're doing a lot of singing and dancing. That's not for me. That's a musical, pretty much. That ain't my jam.
Well, that's Smecker Doom. I think it's Smecker Doom or whatever. That one's with Michael Keegan. Is that his name? I always get their names mixed up.
Keegan Michael Key?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
He's him and another female famous comedian. I forget her name. She does the Verizon commercials. What's her name?
Cecily Strong from SNL?
Yeah, they're both of them star in it, and it is a musical, and it is hilarious. Because they're in a musical, but they're not. I mean, like they're cognizant, but nobody else is. So like they just randomly people start queuing up and be like, no, don't do it. Then they start singing and dancing. Hilarious to me.
I don't know. I can't get down with it, man. Like,
and it's in the second season, so it survived one season.
Apple TV, you said?
Apple TV.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. Musicals to me are just not. I don't see the reason behind them for entertainment. Maybe it's just not.
I don't know. I don't know why I like them, but I do. I'm put it out there. A lot of people wouldn't admit it. I like them, but I like the weird ones, like Sweeney Todd.
I've never seen.
What is happening here?
That's a musical.
Sweeney Todd's a musical. They busting the song all the time.
That's Tim Burton, right?
Tim Burton and your boy
Johnny
Depp and
my boy.
He's a girl. Old girl who always looks the same in every movie. She was in Harry Potter, which I didn't really watch any of those movies. She's in this one and she's in something else. She has that real UK like look. I forget her name, but she's
Bonham Carter. Something Bonham Carter. So. It's always in Tim Burton movies. I think so. Like she just has she looks like a Tim Burton character in everything she plays. Yeah, it's not Maria Bonham Carter, is it? It's something Bonham Carter. I don't know, but she's in the Sweeney Todd joint, and she does a really good job. But again, a musical, right? So like, yes. I don't Helen Bonham Carter. There you go. Yep. What about Helena? There's a lot of like. So what about I consider Charlie and Chocolate Factory a musical, obviously, because they bust in the song and dance. Got the Oompa Loompas doing their thing. You like any of the versions of Charlie Chocolate Factory? Gene Wilder version? Willy Wonka, that one I like better, but again, all the singing and everything, I'm like, I could do without this. You like the Oompa Doompa? Nah. Again, like what does it? I don't know, maybe it's just me. And again, I love music, right? But
Yeah.
like
You just don't like the combination?
yeah, like give me comedy or give me violence. Like I can't have singing
Sweeney Todd is very violent
and then singing in the middle of
and
it.
singing in it.
Nah.
Very violent.
I realize I'm definitely in the minority on this, right? Because you have what was the one that got all those awards with Gosling and Emma Stone, Mamma Mia, or no,
No,
La Land.
yeah. So I haven't watched that one yet, actually.
It was winning all those awards and whatnot, and I'm like, it's a
Yeah.
musical.
That's why I stayed away from it. Usually those movies, like I don't know, me and the critics just don't agree for whatever. Like every now and then we sync up. Like I did like No Country for Old Men. I know I don't think you like that one.
No,
I did like that one, and that one was like a Darling or whatever for that year. Then there was one like there's one about oil, man. What was that one called? I didn't like that one at all.
is that Blackwater or something like that, or
No,
Mark
it was
Ruffalo?
it was like a No Country for Old Men, but it'll come back to me. But like that one I wasn't feeling. Recently was been winning all the awards. Everything, everything, everywhere, all at once. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was win every award good, in my opinion.
But that was right up your alley though, like the weird
I don't
stuff.
know why it didn't click for me. I gotta watch it again. Like
Uh,
me and my son watched and we laughed throughout the whole thing because it was funny, but it felt like it was. I don't know. There's certain movies. It's like this is funny. It's like this is meant for me and it's funny, but it's not like I don't know why everyone else liked it. Like this is one I thought it would be more obscure. You know what I mean? But it's like winning everything.
yeah, and I gotta preface this, right? Like, so let me not preface, but let me say this after I've already said all the potentially harmful things, like, oh, people are dumb. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just it does not work for me. Like,
Right.
I people still producing this and putting this out. I mean, do what you do. Do what you do for the love of whether you want to do it, for whether you want to get awards, whatever. You just won't get any of my money, right? And I don't want to convince anyone else to be the same way. I'm not on here saying people shouldn't watch musicals. You know what I mean? No, you like what you like. You know what I mean? So I
So
want to put that out there.
yeah, Shannon endorses The Notebook. It's his favorite movie.
I've never seen The Notebook.
I've watched it a couple times.
I've never seen The Notebook. Like I just tell you, man. Like I'm to a point in my life where there is
It's
something
actually pretty good.
I don't like. I just will not watch it. Like,
All right. Like I would not put that one on you at all. But I'm sure. Like, I'm not sure. Like maybe your wife likes it, maybe she doesn't. But if your wife does like the movie, it's one to tune into. Whether it's not bad.
so here's the thing. I'm gonna come off like a jerk here. I know this, but I want to preface it. I promise y'all, I'm not a jerk. But like, my wife knows already. If there's something that I do not want to watch, I will not watch it. I will not waste the time. You know what I mean?
Right. You just like nope.
It,
You just nope and walk
it,
out.
she'll be like, hey, what do you want to watch? And I'm like, you know how this goes, right? It'll be something that I want to watch, and if you want to watch it too, you can watch it.
Right.
Like I'm not watching Bridgerton. I'm not watching any of that because she likes that stuff too, right?
Right. Right.
The monarchy and all that, like all that stuff. I'm like, I don't care about that. Why? You know what I mean?
I watched the first season. I was not impressed though.
Yeah.
I did give it a try because I like Shonda Rhimes. I like her.
Yeah.
I liked Grey's Anatomy. I don't know what seasons I watched. I did not watch it from beginning to end. I came in like season 3 or 4. I don't know. They tricked me. It was a good show. Don't get me wrong. Once I was in there, but my wife put me on to. There was an episode that had EOD. The dude had a UXO, or I guess if you're not military, he had
Unexploded
yeah
ordnance, unexploded
in
ordnance.
his chest. So like the EOD guy and the surgeons are working on it at the same time, and it looks like it's not gonna work out. So they clear the wing of the hospital, and there's just the EOD dude and the surgeon, and they're working on it. And then he's like, "Hey, it's not like basically he's like it's not gonna work out." And you see that they have a connection. They making dreamy eyes at each other while this dude's chest is cracked open, and she goes to walk out. She makes it down the hallway. The UX dude is walking with it in his hand. He's got it. It's not gonna blow up. And then boom. And it slow motion is ripping the halls down. Stuff is exploding. I'm just like, this is a good show. That never happened again. That never happened again. They had me for like another good 4 or 5 seasons. And I was like, it's gonna happen again. It never happened again.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's like Grey's Anatomy's like 15, 16 seasons in, something like
It's
that.
still going.
Eight to nine
I'm
seasons.
out. I've been out for like the last 5 or 6 seasons because they kill off characters I like, you know what I mean? Because they can't stay on there forever. Like they blow up from that and then they move on to something else.
So let me ask you this then. So why did you like Game of Thrones so much?
Like so legitimately, Game of Thrones is the only fantasy show I've ever watched and liked. And I don't know
Really?
why. I don't like so I know I don't like fantasy. I just like dragons and swords and magic don't do it for me, but sci-fi does, right? So I could do hi-fi. I could do uh Star Wars now,
Mhm.
um, but all of the off stuff, like all of the Andors and Mandalorians, not really the actual, you know,
Not the
yeah,
main.
not the main stuff. Doesn't really do it for me. But I don't like you'll never catch me watching. Um, I don't know, just anything with a dragon in it. I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me. Like it's just like for whatever reason, it does not catch me. But Game of Thrones, there was an episode, and I probably could spoil it because Game of Thrones is mad old now. But it involved two characters. It was really weird what was happening, and then somebody oversaw it. Like one of the main characters saw what they were doing, and he legitimately pushed that person out the window. And I was like,
That's the first
oh,
episode. That's the
it
first
was
episode.
it the first episode?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and I was hooked from then on. They had me. And I was very disappointed at the conclusion. Like most people were, I was not a book reader as well, so I didn't have that extra layer of it. But it's my understanding that Kit Harington, the dude who played Jon Snow, he's getting a spinoff. So I might watch that. I might be back in
Okay.
because he was one of the characters I really liked, right? And then it just didn't really do anything for him at the end. So if he gets his own thing, I might actually tune in that one. And then the new one, which is a prequel, I watched that first season, and it was I better than okay, but it never got me like season one of Game of Thrones. So I think it's again, I'm just not really into the magic of it. So,
I understand.
but yeah,
But
it's just I
but
don't know. I just never really been drawn to it.
but they were another one that was killing off characters all the time. You know what I mean? That's why when you said that, I was like, well, wait a minute. Game of
So
Thrones,
they
you
almost lost me in season one. They killed a character that I was really attached to. I don't want to give that away because that really shocked me. Because I was like, there's no way they're going to kill him. I was like,
right.
they killed off people, but they're not going to kill him. His name is too big. People came here for him, and they were like, nope, dead. I was like, oh,
Got other stuff to do, right? He's like, hey,
yeah,
I'll help you out for a little bit, but then
right, right.
keep going.
And that was Bridgerton. Bridgerton lost one of his main characters as well, like the dude that all the people were like falling in love with, like his character, like he's like I guess the dreamboat character or whatever.
Oh, so he
Um,
died, huh?
so he didn't die, but he didn't come back in
Oh,
season two. So I don't know,
yeah.
maybe he died in between season one and season. I didn't
Well,
watch season two.
I didn't watch season two either, but like he started doing other movies and whatnot. Like you saw
Yeah,
him.
but he's gone. So yeah,
Yeah.
he blew. Well, I guess he was already in the process of blowing up or had already blown up, and he just did the one season. He was like, all right,
That was the first time I saw him in anything. Like I didn't watch it, but I saw the trailers and like my wife watched it. So
yeah.
like I'd be passing by in the room and I'd be like, ah, that sounds like ye old English. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's
So
that too. Like I'm not really drawn to that either. So it's a lot of stuff. Like I never read any of those books, fantasy books. Like I grew up on sci-fi. I grew up on dystopic stuff. Like I love that. You know, The Road, um, the Last of Us. You know, stuff like that. Like I like. You're all going to be sad at the end of this.
if it all hits the fan,
Right?
if it all hits the fan, I'm definitely coming to Florida to find you, man, because like
1984, Fahrenheit
you know how
451,
everything is gonna go.
Brave
Like
New World. I love it. If like it's same thing with games. Like if this ends in ruin, I'm there. I just I don't want that to be real life. I don't know why I find it so fascinating to see something idyllic just fall into dystopia. Like that's just my genre.
hey, to each their own, man. But how was your week?
It was good. I did watch Guardians last weekend. Excellent movie. Like I did not so I watched everything Marvel except for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I have not seen that yet. I think it comes out next week to stream. So I'm excited to finally catch it. But everybody was so down on it. I'm not gonna waste the movie. Like you walk in a movie theater with a family of five, you spend at least 100 and something to get in and out the door. So I just like if this is gonna be just mediocre, I'm not spending it. But I heard nothing but good thing about Guardian. I showed up. It was real good. Like I would argue to say that James Gunn will be sorely missed from the MCU because he knows how to craft a really good arc. Like they came full circle with the Guardians in this one, and I appreciate that. Like there could be more stuff. Obviously, there's hooks for more stuff, but I I have not seen as good of an arc since I would say Captain America. Like Captain America had a really good arc. Guardians I think has the best arc. Thor, because the Thor 2, The Dark World.
And the last one, Love and Thunder, I didn't think was
I
that good.
like Love and Thunder, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think they solidify. I liked it. I think my favorite Thors would be 1 and 3.
Ragnarok, yeah, that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
think Ragnarok would be my favorite.
So you said you liked it, but you didn't mention it you didn't mention it just now. The fourth
No, I
one.
did. But Love and Thunder, I thought was just it was funny. It was entertaining. But yeah, I feel like they chopped a lot out, which they said they allude they did. They chopped out like half a movie because the pacing was just not right to me. Like, just felt like things were just. I wanted to move fast, but just felt like they were just missing stuff. They said there's whole scenes of like other gods being killed, like the Gore the God Butcher. He was killing a lot. They cut all that stuff out.
Why? That's the best part.
They just said it was just too. The movie was just too long. So I would be interested to see that director's cut because I think that would be better than the original. To be honest with you, but who else had a really good? I don't think Iron Man 1 through 3 was the best arc either. It was okay.
Well,
I,
it didn't really wrap anything up there, right? Because even after 3, you had your end games and
yeah,
your
yeah.
Infinity Stones, right?
But like
So
this actually did put a
yeah,
bow on it. So I was like, okay, I'm glad they brought Gunn back, obviously, and I'm glad all the important characters made it an effort to come back and perform very well. Like everybody, it had something for everybody in this. So for all of the characters, they all got their shine in this one. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. It was like perfect pacing. Um, I would be interested to watch it again on stream because I have not gone back. I used to do my marathon. I can't. They're up to like what is it, 28 movies?
it's several. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've not done my annual marathon. Just there's just too many movies. So I have not been going back and revisiting a lot of them. Like I went back for Black Panther 2 recently. I went back for Guardians 2, so that way I could the whole family could catch up because it's been a while. And I just watch things as they come out. I have not gone back. I used to go back every year, go back and watch it because I haven't watched the Doctor Strange one. What is it?
Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. I have not watched it again, and I definitely want to watch that one again. I have not gone back.
You have not gone back to watch it again, and it's been streaming for like at least a year now, probably.
Yeah.
So like that should tell you right there. You're like,
It was good though. Like in the like, I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe I have memory bias because you're in the theater with people shouting as cameos kick off, right? So maybe it was a little bit of that as well. So I don't know if I'll get that at home. Like it was like an experience you had to be there for.
but if it's the experience of it, you don't really like you don't really like it itself. Like me, right? Like I
Mhm.
don't mind. I do not watch baseball at home, but I don't mind going to a stadium, to be in the environment. But it's the
Right.
environment I like, not the product that's being put out on the field. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's probably what it is. Like again, you've had it at your fingertips. You've had Disney Plus
I
on,
have.
and you have not watched it again. You know what I mean? So you don't like it as much as you. I think you don't like it as much
I
as
don't
you.
know. Now I have to go. I have to test this theory out. I think I got to watch it.
Okay.
If I can squeeze, I got to squeeze the time in. Like I've been jobbing.
Yeah.
So if I can squeeze it in, I'll try to check it out again because I definitely got to watch Quantum Mania, and that might be well. I guess I would have to watch pieces of Loki, and I'll have to watch what else would fit in that. I would have to watch Ant-Man and Wasp 2, which I didn't like as much as the first one. I'm not gonna lie to you. So again, like they're not Disney is good with the grand. I want to say they're good with the grand finale in the Avengers movies. Like those always hit the mark, right? Age of Ultron was the weakest of all of them, but I would say all the rest have been excellent in my opinion.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I do, and I know I'm in the minority here. So when you think back on Age of Ultron, think of all the different people they introduced, right, to
Mhm.
bring them into it. If I was to guess, I know this is going to be unpopular because it made so much money. I would say Endgame was the worst of those four.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say
Huh.
Endgame.
Okay. I gotta watch those now. See, it's just too much. And then these movies are so long in a good way. It's just like, how did I used to find the time to watch all this stuff? Like I used to legitimately be like, okay, I'm gonna run through all 10. I'm gonna run through all 20. And I was like, nah, you can't do that. It's not possible to run through all these movies to remember stuff. Because you see little stuff every time I go back. I see little stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, and they just came back. I remember that now. It's just getting like their catalog is just too big. Um, but I still to say like yes. So I thought Guardians, like not to hype it up too much. Like it's not the best Marvel movie of all time. I think it's the best of their arcs thus far. Like James Gunn did a really good job. Like I said, all the actors did a really good job. They leave hooks for you to come back, but they give you a nice conclusion, which I never got from any of the other arcs. It just has not happened for me yet. Um, so I did appreciate that. Um, and I think what's going to happen is now I feel more confident in DC under Gunn's oversight. I do. I'm not going to lie because he's doing some of himself. Like obviously there'll be other directors who are going to do their own thing, and that never really doesn't always pan out. But I think he has a vision because Guardians 3 had some stuff in it from Guardians 1. I'm just like, man, that was good. You did a good job there, making that correlate.
I want to believe you about the gun thing. But no, I believe the movie is going to be good. I've seen the trailers, I've seen clips. I'm like, okay, the movie's going to be good. But what he is doing over in DC, like he has to come through so great with some of the stuff that
Right.
right? Like the firing of the people he fired, like why could you not have made the story to where you had all these people that we know? And I realize DC gets a bad rap, right? Like there
Yeah.
a lot of people like these DC movies are terrible, but you had the people in place. Because now what's going to happen? You're going to replace somebody else to do Black Adam, to do Superman, and they're going to get compared, right? And eventually it would happen, but it's they're going to get compared, and people are going to be like, yeah, but he's not Henry Cavill. You know what I mean? But he's not Dwayne Johnson. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And
But I
then
think, yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. There's always going to be those people, but it's so disjointed that it's got to be rebooted. Like I would agree with you though. I wish he did bring back Cavill. Uh, The Rock. I mean, like I'm a fan of The Rock, but these articles are not painting his relationship with him in a good light, right? And the history is written by the victor, right? So I'm sure his side of the story and their side of the story are totally different, and somewhere in the middle is the true story. But the way they frame it is like it was full takeover, and they were like, no, we'd rather burn it down than to let you take over, which it may have been great if he took it over. Like Black Adam was not bad.
yeah, like I don't think so either. Like a lot of people did not like Black Adam, but like, uh, okay, spoiler, right? Even though it's been out for like a year now, but
Yeah,
like him incorporating Superman into it, like that's what people want to see.
yeah,
Like, don't do
yeah.
that to
But
not go down the line with that. And he said in public in interviews, the whole reason for this thing is to have Black Adam and Superman, go at it.
right,
You know what I mean? Who
right.
doesn't want to see that?
But they said in doing so, he took some stuff out of which I have not watched yet. I'm waiting for it to stream. Shazam 2 was
Mm.
lesser because of his meddling. So I don't know how true that is either. But the director seemed pretty pissed because he was supposed to get either a Black Adam or a Superman, and The Rock shut that down. And The Rock is an actor; he's not a producer. So how is he going in like you can't have that?
That's not his decision. That's the thing, though, right? Like somebody
Right?
else made the decision. It wasn't popular, and now they're like, "Well, no, that's not me. That's this actor,
Yeah,
producer."
it could be.
Like you're the studio. Like you determine what's going to happen. Be like, hey, we're not going to distribute this if you don't allow this, that, and the third to happen. You know what I mean? But again, it's because of hindsight, right? Because it made Dwayne Johnson an easy target because Black Adam, a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, if
Apparently,
it had blown up, like if Black Adam, I think if it had rocked the box office, it would have been a different story. But
yes.
um, yeah, I just don't know. Like again, I think they had a lot of good people in place. Like, yes, I would love to see The Rock come back, Henry Cavill come back, Gal Gadot. I think she may or may not come back because they didn't they cancel the next Wonder Woman. I think they
Yeah.
canceled it. They were
So
like, it's
I
just
thought
not
it was,
working out.
yeah, I thought it was canceled altogether, but somebody told me it was just postponed. But I was like, they said Patty Jenkins can't direct it anymore, and like it's probably not gonna happen. But
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. Like,
Like so I think they did have a lot of good pieces, but then you have a Batista situation, right? Like because Batista was like, I'm not doing Drax again. He was like, I love the character. It did great things for me. Like I've been blessed by Drax. I cannot run around with my shirt off anymore. I'm too old. I'm not gonna get into shape no more. And then Hugh Jackman, like they got him to come back. Obviously, that's gonna be a thing. But he was like, I cannot do Wolverine anymore. I cannot. It's not possible. So we'll see what they do. Maybe be Wolverine and shirt on a lot. I don't know.
but that's the thing. Like, I get the age restriction for that, right? But like, look at the time frame that they're doing with these movies too, right? So if you're not coming out with one but every 4 years, and I realize you got other projects that are going on,
Mhm.
but like, if you have a cash cow, why are you waiting so long? You give people the opportunity to be disinterested, right? You
Right.
give them the opportunity, to say that they didn't like something because they waited so long, right? Like, this is like me with the D'Angelo album, right? Like, Voodoo is one of my favorite albums D'Angelo ever came out with, right? When he came out with this last one, Black Messiah, I was like, oh, you slipping. You know what I mean? But I had to wait like 18 years for it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, I was like, this is not as good as I remember Voodoo being. You know what I mean? But
Right. Right.
that's what you're allowing to happen with movies when you do that.
No, that's true. So I don't know. I don't know what their cadence is going to be. I think they're gonna. I think he's literally going over there to MCU it up, right? To make the cadence right, get the right people in place, and then start churning them out 2 or 3 a year. Because we all said we had fatigue, and then when the pandemic hit, we were fiending for Marvel movies. We were like, hey, just drop it, just put it on stream. I was anyway.
I never had fatigue. I still thought they were putting too much together.
I think it was, what was it? It was
The last two Avengers movies were close together. I'll give you that.
yeah,
Like,
there was one movie and I was just like, it's just too much. Like maybe I do need a break. And then the pandemic hit immediately after. I can't remember what it was. One of them dropped just before the pandemic. And I was one of those people who was just like, it's a lot. Maybe they should slow these down. I can't remember which one movie that was. Um, but then immediately once the pandemic hit, I was like, oh, I need one of these movies. Like just release it on stream. Just give it to me. Um, uh, I think Gunn is going to do that over there because at one point they said they were trying to get Feige. Like that was actual, like legitimate. Like, hey, we'll take him too. Like he too. That's how desperate they were to get that alignment and then start getting these movies out because people are not fatigued. No matter how much they complain, they're still going to go see them. So I guess we'll see. But he already sounds like he has a strong plan. I'm not the biggest Gun fan in the world, but Guardians, he did a good job. And then he's already talking about some good stuff he's trying to do over there. And this Flash movie is going to be regardless if Gunn came in or not, this gives them a clean slate potentially, right? They get to do the thing like the comic did, full reboot. So we will see. But yeah, if they keep Ezra Miller but they get rid of Henry Cavill, it is kind of weird. It's just like, wait a minute.
well, there's an age difference thing too, right? So like, his reasoning behind that is because this is a 10-year arc for these characters from the point that he comes on, right? So at that point, you got an almost 50-year-old Superman, right? Like,
Yeah, which is true.
can you really
And because
do that?
he's gonna age or whatever. So what would be the difference then doing the reboot, but keeping these people in different capacities? Because it is a reboot, right? You can have not Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton's probably like, I'm definitely ready to retire. But you could have what is the current Batman?
The current one is Robert Pattinson. Probably
No, not that Batman. The
Bale, still Christian Bale.
no, married to Jennifer Lopez.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. So you got Batfleck. You
Okay.
can bring him back as Thomas Wayne. You can make that arc happen. He's older, he's gruff, he could be that. You could bring back Henry Cavill, he could be his dad, right?
Yeah, but he can't be his dad because he already destroyed him. Remember?
Flashbacks.
Zod. Remember Zod? But yeah, but how much are you really getting out of that?
Because you're doing a reboot, right? So I mean you could even change the story where he gets to interact with his dad more often.
That's true because they did it for Flash, right? So
Yeah.
Flash, this is the was it Flashpoint paradox?
Yeah.
I think is what they're basing this off of. You know what I mean? So it's a time travel thing. You're right. You could do that.
So they could bring these people back in different capacities. You could make Gal Gadot the queen, right? And then these people have another decade in them playing these roles. But I think they're just like, there's too much money tied to these people, and we want to generate more revenue off the backs of new actors, younger actors. So we'll see. Like I'd be interested to see who they cast as, because Robert Pattinson, I was like, this is not gonna be a good Batman. That was an excellent Batman. So okay,
Okay.
not excellent, great.
So,
Good.
so,
I would
so,
say great.
so for me, here's the thing, right? So like when you think about it, that movie was almost three hours long.
Yeah.
And when I think back, there was really only, I want to say like maybe 4 action scenes. And now they were good scenes. I'm not saying
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
scenes, but that was a long time to go between action, right?
Right.
Like
But this was year one, year two Batman though.
it,
So
it was.
this is Batman after Guns, because I remember there was a Batman that had guns. Was that was that was that part of the Flashpoint? No, that's part of Flashpoint where Thomas Wayne had guns.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that
Yeah.
was this
But no,
Batman.
year one Batman was the pure, almost pure detective and a little bit of action, right? So year two, three Batman, he might start kicking some more butt. You saw he's making mistakes in this one that was hilarious.
And he's just walking into places. He's not coming down from the ceiling or anything like that.
Right,
Like
right. He's walking through the door
you
and
hear him
busting.
walking through in a subway tunnel, like you can hear his boots. Like you ain't sneaking up on anybody, man.
Right. So I think that there'll be more action in the future. Plus, he's super young, so he can take those hits. He can get beat up pretty bad and still come back for the next movie or whatever. But that's not that. But that's the crazy part though, is that that's not part of the DCU. That's the other. So I don't know if they're making it less disjointed or more disjointed at this point.
Here's another thing with Gunn, and like he's going to be coming out with lesser known properties as well, which can be a good thing, right? So like your diehard comic book fans, they might like it, right? And the hope is that you bring them out and you hook other people that are casuals. You know what I mean?
Right.
Blue Beetle, like I saw the trailer for Blue Beetle. I'm kind of like, I don't know about that.
I'll wait for it to stream. Like I'm. It looks like it'll be humorous, but I don't know enough about the character. You didn't grab me in that trailer. Like the only thing I've played as the character in Justice League, or was it Injustice 2?
Injustice, yeah.
That's the only thing I know about that character.
But that, I mean, I don't know. That's just we'll see what he does. I need him to put something out that knocks me off my feet and be like, oh,
Might be
man.
that first joint. He's doing isn't the reboot of Superman? He's doing a new Superman. This will be like we've rebooted Superman, I don't know, infinite amount of times. So this will be the testament. If he can get nail this, then we'll go. I will be more confident. But again, I thought Guardians 3 was really good and gross. Put it out there.
Gross. Okay. All right.
It's kind of gross. I was like, I don't remember these movies being as gross in the first two. Like, why is everything so fleshy? I don't get it. But someone put in like, and to get off of Guardians and DCU, but somebody put in one of the reviews, the movie is not good because it's an MCU movie. It's good because it's a gun movie with MCU characters. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, I don't know Gunn that well. Like I know him from the Suicide Squad and I know him from Guardians, and that's pretty much it. But I know he has other movies. So I'm interested to see if that is the case, because that would mean that when he goes over there and he makes a gun movie with DC characters, it should be equally as good. So
That's the hope.
that's the hope. Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, let me ask you something. Is he actually directing the movies? Because he's the head of the studio, right?
So I think he's directing the Superman one. I think so. I think he's taking the lead, like to set the tone. It would be my guess, right? I'm making an assumption there, but I believe he said that he's doing the Superman movie, and that should be one of their first like proper, this is the DCU. So if that's the case, then he's setting the tone. Like this is what I want my movies to look like from here on out. So
Everybody watch this and copy this. That's what he's telling.
here's the formula.
Yeah, any director who's hired from this point forward, this is what you do.
Yeah. So if that's a hit, if that's a $1 billion movie, then we're rolling. But if it flops, then they might as well just pack it up. Especially after firing everybody, like just pack it up. Just make cartoons from here on out because you're excellent at those.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
But yeah, so aside from that, aside from Guardians and Citadel, which I am also really enjoying, it's real heavy on the action, but it's definitely a Shannon joint. It's a Shannon jam.
I'll tell you this early on, right? So like with the fourth one, not so much, but it's still good because it has that investigative edge
Okay.
that keeps me going for it. But the fourth one, you're not going to get a lot of action. You'll get some, but then it's a figure this out type thing. And I'm like, ooh, oh, I thought I knew. I guess I didn't know.
Right. So okay, because you know, like I have a cutoff. You can only cross and double cross me. You can't triple cross. Once you get in triple cross territory,
Oh,
I'm out.
Oh no. Okay. They got 2 more episodes and there might be quadruple crossing in this one.
Oh my God, I can't. Because then you just came, isn't that full circle? Like, is it 3 or 4 when you're back to being the first cross?
That's full circle twice. Quadruple.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just too much sometimes. So I'm pumped though. Like, so far so good. Like, I'm glad that I caught it. Oh, so that, like, not trying to pitch this one to you, but I'm letting you know, next to my queue, Apple TV has already ruined it. Apple TV has a show called Silo, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I'm gonna jump into it because I'm fearful. Like, it looks like it's right up my alley. It looks like a Fallout type situation. They're inside of a silo. They all have to work together to make sure it keeps doing what it's doing. I guess it's producing food and heat and energy and all that stuff. They don't know why they're there. Like, so they've been in this silo for generations. They've lost, like, why are we here? Why can't we go outside? And they show somebody outside dying. Like, they go outside, they drop dead. Like, what's out there, right? It has Common in it. So there's already a good, I think Common's a good actor, to be honest with you.
He is. He's surprisingly good.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have some other characters, but Common stuck out to me, right? Like, I don't know these other people as well. I know Common. So I'm just like, okay. Is it going to turn into a Lost type situation? Like, I'm so glad I missed Lost. Like, I was going to jump into Lost several times, and I'm told by many never to jump into Lost because it doesn't come to a conclusion. I need you to A, not go 17 seasons, but B, I need you to give me an explanation at the end. I need you to do at least a montage. Why were we in the silo? Like, the last 3 episodes, jump back in time and show me the introduction of the silo. Why are we building the silo? What is the silo going to do? How come we forgot we're here? And then end it. I don't know if they're going to do that because Apple will cancel something. They're not as bad as Netflix.
I was like, are they like Netflix then? Okay.
Not as bad as Netflix, but they're pretty bad. They were just like, we ain't doing this one. So that is next to my queue. It looks like it hits all the things. I just don't know if it's going to last.
So again, like you're very much into the post-apocalyptic, right? Or things like that.
I'm prepping.
I'm
kidding. Takes that snippet.
Show us a video of your garage. Like, what's all those
you open it up, it's just nothing but toilet paper. And what are those things that you use to heat up food? Those little
the burners, the little
little burners. They got nothing but little burners and toilet paper.
Yeah. Like, you got bottled water and
right.
Are those MREs? Like, what's going on?
I just threw out a whole box of MREs. I had them things in my garage for 4 years. I was like, they got to be expired. They got to be.
It's crazy. We were talking about that at work, right? Like, almost all of us are former military at my job, and we were talking about it. And one of the guys went to the commissary and got one, and we were looking into it a little bit. So remember, there used to be a date. It would be like 10 years before those things expire. It's a little bit less now than what it used to be, but like, they got better things in them than.
Yeah, somebody say, is it real food in there now?
Yeah, like when we were first coming in, like, they didn't have the stuff in there like they got now. So like, you have to store it at certain temperatures and all that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's, if you store it at this temperature, it's good for this long. If you store
that defeats the purpose. But it also, I mean, like, people, like, there's no correlation yet, but MREs weren't real food. Like, I'm sure one day it's going to be one of those suits, you know, they do like for the 3M for the hearing aid, or the earplugs. Is going to be like, did you eat MREs between 1995 and 2025? That's not real food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tossed. It had an oil stain in the bottom. That's how I knew something wasn't right. Something in there went bad because the cardboard had a stain. I was like, ooh, time to throw that away.
That looks like it's a bomb package right now. You know what I mean? Like,
that's got to go. Yeah. But now you bring it up. Like, next time, which won't be for a long time. Next time I'm near that base, I'm probably gonna go pick up a box of MREs. And things are like $100, right, for a whole.
They cost
box
a little bit.
for a case.
Cost a little bit. They're not cheap.
It was like, what are you charging? Like, what's the government paying for these? Like,
It's I think it's more than 100 because I think you get 12 in a case, right? And they're like $13 a piece. So that's $160 ish, something like that.
but it's good to have on hand though, in case like power goes out or one of my post-apocalypse things pop off. We got at least a month of food.
Look, man, you're the only one in your house that's used to that. Like your kids
That's very true.
They're gonna be like, what are you heating this with? Why does this taste like this?
Like you got to put it on a rock. Remember that you had to sit it at the proper angle on a rock so way it will heat the food up.
Your family's gonna be like, we're not eating this. We're like, then we will die. Like this is
Like,
what we
what we eating then?
yeah.
Can't go outside. It's like the silo. You go outside, you just drop dead. Yeah, send people outside with a rope around their waist so you can pull them back in.
I wouldn't want to bring them back in. Like, what were they exposed to? Don't bring it in the
Bring it
quarantine.
back into the house.
Yeah, you won't come back. Cut that.
It reminds me of Bird Box, like that Netflix original. I thought it was great. I don't think you've checked it out though.
I have not.
But just before we land this plane, so the only other thing I've been doing, this bad boy right here. You see this? For y'all watching the video, that is Zelda.
Tears of
the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Is it good? Switch grip. Oh, it is excellent. I have not put in as many hours as I would like because it's not possible in life. But it is real good. If you like Breath of the Wild, you're gonna love this. If you like any other Zelda, you're gonna love this.
So like, my son, I told you, I hit you up when I saw this on Friday. It released Friday, right? Mm-hmm. And I came home and I was going up at the loft, and my son was playing on the Switch on the TV. He had it broadcast on the TV, and I saw Zelda, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "What is this?" He was like, "It's Zelda." He didn't say Tears of the Kingdom. Right. I was like, "Is this the new one?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "When did you get it?" He's like, "I just went and picked it up today." He said, "I did a pre-order." I did not even realize he was into it like that. But he never played Breath of the Wild. He played, I guess, one before that. He had played, but he never played Breath of the Wild. But he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I like Zelda." You know what I mean? I was like, I did not know. I was like, Ryan and Levon like Zelda too. So
yeah, man. Zelda doesn't miss. My favorite is Ocarina of Time, but Breath of the Wild is up there too. Breath of the Wild is in my top.
I think that's the one he said. Oh,
Ocarina of Time. That was N64. I remember going to launch night, getting a T-shirt, and it came on the Go cartridge.
So was it on a later system? Was it released?
Yeah, they re-released it. On the GameCube, I want to say. And I'm not sure if it got a Switch port or not.
I was like, it had to have been Switch. It had to have been Switch or something like that because my son is not that old.
So we might have played Link's Awakening had a remake on the Switch. And then you also had your Skyward Sword and your is it Twilight Princess was on the Wii. So they may have ported those over as well. Yeah. So you might have played one of those. So I skipped, like the only Zeldas I have not played are Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. And that's just because of the timing hit me when I was like in the end of my undergrad. So I just had time. And then time passes, right? And mechanics change, like, so I'm waiting for them to re-release those to get your remake or rebuild on a newer hardware. But somehow the Switch is still able to play this thing, and it is bigger than Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild is a humongous map, but it's all like it's vertical, but most of it is flat, right? Like it's just a really big, huge map. This one adds layers. You have the islands in the sky, and then now you have caverns underneath Hyrule, and you can literally, I did it, I died, but you can jump from the top and find a chasm and go all the way from the top of the map all the way down through the bottom of the map, which I hit the ground and then I died. There was no water down there. At least not in the hole I jumped in. But I don't know how the Switch is running it. It is doing magical things over here. Like the Switch is obviously past its life cycle. It's like 7 years old, I want to say. It needs a refresh. It's still selling. So Nintendo's like, we're gonna keep on it. Plus they can't announce a Switch 2 and drop a Zelda unless it's on both, right? So I get that. But next year, if they don't announce it at Christmas, they're gonna announce it next year that there's a new Switch inbound, because they can't do more. It's not possible. Because it's not. And the stuff you're doing in it, right? Like it feels like they gave you dev tools. Like you can fuse things, you can move things, like you can do a bunch of stuff with the game's mechanics and physics that you couldn't do In the first one, like the physics were there, but the mechanics of manipulating things, like you could build machines now. It's crazy. So it's very, very innovative, very pretty, and humongous. Like the first game, I think it took me a year to beat because I can't just keep playing, day in, day out. So it took me about a good year to beat Breath of the Wild. So this one is going to be at least probably just as long. So, and I'm playing it primarily on my TV, like your son. Like I just put it in the grip so that I can show it to you. It's like boom. For those of you watching on video, I do have it. But I don't know, like it's because it's so big, it converts very well between handheld and TV. But right now, primarily TV, and then maybe I'll switch. But for the most part, I play my Switch handheld. But this time, I'm playing it primarily on TV with my Pro controller. So I have a full size controller in my hand. But yeah, loving it, enjoying it. You get any games in recently?
No, man, I haven't. I'll probably just wait for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's about September.
Yeah, I think that's the time frame.
That's probably the one I'll wait for, because that first one they had. Well, let me not say the first one, because it was like the 5th iteration of Spider-Man or something like that. But the one they had on PS4, that one was off the chain. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked that one and the Miles Morales one, which was a lot shorter, right? But so I'll probably wait for that in September. Will be the next big one I get, because dude, I put in over 70 hours on that God of War, right? Like I'm trying to put the time in. I'm trying to do all side stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But you still have on your plate Forbidden West, right?
So I haven't even started it. No, I haven't.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say Burning Shores came out now. They say it's pretty good.
That's the DLC for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I haven't played it yet. So like I said, I liked Horizon, but it's not to the point where, like, I know if I pick it up, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, like this is where all my free time is gone.
Right.
My wife would be like, did you feed the kids while you were gone? I'd be like, I got kids. Like I'm still playing the game. Like, what are you talking about? So
right.
nah, not yet.
Okay. All right. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for I guess the Guardians episode, Guardians/Zelda episode.
That's what.
But yeah. So I'll probably put that somewhere in the description. Because now we get a weekly rundown from Heroes Media Group. So Adam puts on his Facebook page all of the podcasts that he hosts, and then he gives a little brief snippet of what happened in the podcast that week. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to find a link and shoot it to you, so that way you can see it as well. But the more information I give him, the more he can talk about it. So. But yeah, I'm sure I'm going to talk about way more about Zelda next week as I get more into it. I only have like 3 hours into it so far, but yeah, amazing. You'll watch Guardians, so we can probably piggyback on that one. But for all of you who came here expecting cybersecurity stuff and didn't get it, go back. So we have over 360 something episodes of cyber things. But this week, we had a Monday and Tuesday topic, Wednesday discussion. So go back and listen to those. And then last week, if you have not listened to us prior to now, we had on special guest Chelsea Pierre of Blurred's Leading Technology, and she was with us the entire week. So we had our 2 topics, our discussion, and she was on the Friday episode. So definitely tune in for that as well. Go back. We have plenty of stuff. Like it ages like fine wine, right? Go back in the catalog. With that being said, definitely continue to tune in and share the content. We greatly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. Hit us up at all the social medias that go by our name. And you can hit me up personally. I am at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. Stay safe, stay secure.